solve b is equal to 2 plus the square root of 3 minus 2b. And so to solve this equation, what we want to do is isolate the radical here, the square root. Then we can square both sides to get rid of the radical and then solve the algebraic equation. So what we want to do is first get rid of the 2. Again, isolate the radical. So subtract 2 from both sides. So we have b minus 2 equals to the square root. Now we can square both sides of the equation. That gets rid of the square root on the right, because when you square a square root, those are inverse operations, so they cancel. All we're left with is 3 minus 2b. On the left side, we squared b minus 2, so that's equivalent to saying b minus 2 times b minus 2. And if we FOIL it out or distribute or multiply these two binomials, we'll get b squared minus 2b plus 4, and that's equal to the right side. Now we have a quadratic equation in terms of b, and so we're going to move all the terms to one side. And so I kind of flipped it here, but basically I moved all the terms to the left. So I added 2b to both sides, and so that got rid of one of the 2b's. And so there's negative 2b left over. And I subtracted 3 from both sides, so this 4 became a 1. And so there's 0 on the right, but I just flipped it, so 0 was on the left. I just like it that way. It doesn't really matter. Either way works. And now I can factor this quadratic into b minus 1 times b minus 1, or b minus 1 squared. And so if we have two factors equal to 0, that means each factor has to be equal to 0. And in this case, it's only one real factor, so b minus 1 equals 0, and so b equals to 1. However, because we squared both sides of the equation to solve this equation, we have to test b back into the original equation. So let's plug in 1 for b and see if it's a real root or just an extraneous root that's not an actual solution. So 1 equals 2 plus the square root of 3 minus 2 times 1, so 3 minus 2, which is 1. Square root of 1 is just 1, so we have 2 plus 1, that's 3. We have 1 on the left, so there actually is no solutions. b equals 1 is not a solution to this equation.